So let's have a look what happened recently in Iceland, in that small but mighty island nation in the middle of the North Atlantic. Iceland's constitution needed to be updated. The reform process was decided to be done by using new methods, by opening up the reform process to the public. Among the others, the Prime Minister Jóhanna Sigurðardóttir supported this idea. The process went this way. First, in 2010, the Icelanders chose 25 representatives to the rewriting committee in national elections. Over 500 candidates ran for the committee. The 25 people who were chosen were rather regular citizens than professional politicians. This group of 25 people started the ambitious reform process in 2011. The process was due in only 3 to 4 months. The committee scanned through several other constitutions, such as those of Finland, Sweden, and Germany, to find good examples of modern constitutions. After every meeting, the committee shared the most recent versions of the constitution online. The citizens were invited to comment on the draft versions. For instance, on this slide you see drafts of the human rights article in the constitution. So what was crowdsourced here in this process were people's comments, views, and perspectives. Then the Constitution Reform Group decided how to use that feedback in their work. The Icelanders commented via Facebook integration, and they also sent in emails and traditional letters. Icelanders submitted thousands of comments altogether. But why was the reform conducted in such a novel way? Iceland was hit by a financial crisis a couple of years ago. The country is still recovering. Iceland has also been suffering from a democratic recession. The citizens have lost their trust in politicians who led the country to the crisis. In the last few years, the Icelanders have started to claim change to the existing political systems. In 2009 and 2010, Icelanders have gathered in national assemblies. In these meetings, the citizens have discussed the nation's future and values. Based on these thoughts, the government decided to conduct the constitution reform in a novel, open way. So, what about the result of this open process? The result of this work, a proposal for a new constitution, is currently reviewed by the Parliament of Iceland. It is still unsure whether the draft will be accepted by the Parliament. Also, a national referendum might be organized about the constitution. According to some evaluations, the draft gives more power to the people than the current constitution. However, the draft is not as radical as the conservative groups in Iceland were afraid that it would be. As a result of this open process, the Reform Committee received perspectives from the public, perspectives which otherwise would have left unnoticed. For example, the issue of genetic discrimination was brought into the draft because of a message from an expert in the public. The process also provoked some discussion about the meaning of a constitution for a citizen. Furthermore, the open process holds potential to empower citizens as they had a chance to have an impact on policymaking in a novel fashion. Also, in an ideal case, the open process leads into a stronger legitimacy of politics. The citizens might feel more ownership in political decisions when they become a part of the policymaking process. However, these results appear only as potential upsides of the open process. They won't necessarily realize. The process, of course, didn't go without challenges and problems. First of all, the goal was very ambitious: to reform a constitution in only a few months and with a brand new method. This led into several challenges, such as how to inform the Icelanders about the possibility to participate, and how to encourage the people to participate in the process. Also, how to design the open process so that it runs seamlessly. For instance, there were challenges in conducting the elections when choosing the reforming committee, and the results were voided by the Supreme Court of Iceland. The Parliament of Iceland, however, appointed the committee based on the election results. The Icelanders encountered even more challenges. How to address the digital divide, meaning how can those who don't have access to the internet have a say in the process? And lastly, how to keep the political game out of the process as much as possible. The citizens' voice has been left behind when some political groups in Iceland oppose the constitution draft. This is not surprising because the draft includes some pretty radical changes, such as transferring the ownership of the fishing quota to the public instead of the private ownership. All in all, the process was a pioneering learning experience for Iceland and for the whole world about how to employ novel, open methods in policymaking, processes which traditionally have been closed. These experiences are very much needed so that we, the global community of citizens and the accountable, can learn how to use these methods in the best possible way. So thank you, Iceland.